was at the brink of being overwhelmed by an invasive plant known as Opuntia Engelmannii, a prickly pear belonging to the cactus family. The invasive plant had claimed large tracts of land as it spread by elephants and baboons that feed on its fruit. But the once aggressive plant that threatened pasture that is depended on by a number of animals has been put under control after the Conservancy started to generate clean energy that is used for cooking. Sharon Baranga met with conservation officers at the Conservancy and filed the following report.
Loisaba Conservancy has been invaded by some invasive species, that is Opuntia Engelmannii. The Opuntia Engelmannii has taken up quite a big land within Loisaba. So the management explored ways of managing that particular invasive species. And part of what we do is production of biogas. In producing the biogas, the raw material is the Opuntia itself that is collected in the field by people who've been trained on the best way to harvest it. They carry it using some wheelbarrows to the place whereby the digester is. In the digester, there is a process whereby you identify how many loads of wheelbarrows that you're going to put into the crusher. So the person who is in charge of that particular project kind of collects the Opuntia and puts it on the crusher. The crusher has an opening at the top whereby that Opuntia gets crushed to some semi-solid form that is called slag. Basically, the water helps in the crushing process. We have the solid Opuntia that has been collected and put in the crusher. So the water softens the Opuntia that is being crushed into a pulp. That slag feeds into the digester of the biogas. So the digester has a prefabrication system in which the slag gets inside and the biodigestion process or fermentation kicks off. The crushing is done daily. The fermentation will take possibly a week because this is the previous material that is already inside that particular digester. The gas that is generated, that is methane gas, is channeled to the kitchen whereby it's used for cooking purposes for our staff who reside near the site where the biodigester is. There is also a byproduct that comes out in form of liquid form that is used in the kitchen because it's really kind of organic fertilizer. And the gas helps in running the kitchen for 7 hours a day, whereby our staff who reside in this area are well fed, and also they commend the project for helping reduce the acreage under which Opuntia is in Loisaba Conservancy. We also recognize that there is clean energy that doesn't bring any harm to the environment. We also appreciate the fact that quite a substantial acreage since 2019 when the project was started has been freed from Opuntia Engelmannii, and we're looking forward to replicating the same project to our communities across the Loisaba Conservancies, who would also establish the same project in their areas, given that the invasive species has taken quite a bit of the community land too, and in the long term, it becomes an ecological disaster, taking up the grazing space, taking up outcompeting the natural vegetation that is in this area. The spread of the invasive species all over is attributed to, one, its wildlife. Elephants and baboons, they feed on the fruits of the Opuntia. And that being the case, they help in dispersal of that particular plant because of the movement patterns within the landscape. And then normally introduced species are very aggressive in conquering the natural species that are found in a particular habitat.
It's taken over a couple of thousand acres of land that was prime grazing land and is really beginning to alter the ecology. Opuntia has been spread by all sorts of animals. It's a plant that originates from southern United States actually and came into the country in the 50s. So we're dealing with it by removing it mechanically, and we're also have a biocontrol that's recently been licensed for engagement into the environment by the Cactus protocols in Nairobi, and we'll be releasing that cochineal bug that will actually eventually control the Opuntia. So it's a two-pronged attack between manual and biological control. And Opuntia affects not just Loisaba, it's right across the Mogogodo area of Laikipia. We're seeing it in Sava in southern Kenya, right down to Kipsing, so it's a big problem, and we're trying to engage in methodology to remove it.